Okay, so what bones do we have in our knee joint? Trace, what we got?
The tibia, the fibula, and the patella.
Tibia, fibula?
And the patella.
What else do we have? We're missing one more bone. Somebody else?
Femur.
Femur, good.
Sorry.
Okay, somebody quick, tell me one, what's another name for the tibia?
Shin.
We got Chris. No, the tibia, what's the other name for it? Allie?
Shin.
Shin bone. Fibula.
Kneecap.
No, fibula. Oh, you're going to go patella?
Yeah.
Okay, that's our kneecap.
Will you be nice to her?
Allie, what we got?
Yeah,
Isn't the fibula the thigh bone? Oh, the femur's the thigh bone?
Femur's a thigh bone.
Oh, the fibula is the bone behind the shin, isn't it?
Yep, kind of sideways, but behind it. Good. Well, we just basically call that a lower leg bone. That's all. We don't have a fancy name for it. What we got, Wendy?
It says the knee joint. I thought your thigh was right here, not
That's your thigh. That's your thigh. The knee is down here. So when I draw using these bones, okay, we're going to see femur.
Nah, cause I got like someone drew that on my desk.
So we're looking right here. I've got 3 bones here so far. What's the top one called? What's the top?
Femur.
What's that? Femur. Good. What's the lower but the shin bone called?
Tibia.
Tibia.
Yeah.
And what's the skinny one? We call the lower leg bone.
Fibula.
Okay. I'm missing a bone here, aren't I?
Yeah, the patella.
The patella. And that kind of sits like right here, right?
Yeah.
And it's what? Is it a bone all by itself, or is it a bone that's inside of something?
Bone all by itself.
No, it's a bone that's inside of something. Right?
Inside of what?
Muscles and stuff, right?
It connects to a part of that. We talked about that yesterday.
Ligaments.
Ligaments and
Tendons.
tendons. Okay. Tendons
Visualize.
connect what? Okay. Tendons connect what?
Bone to bone.
Bone to bone. Good. Tendons or ligaments?
Tendon.
Ligaments. There we go. Okay. So we're going to add a ligament. I'm going to use ligaments in green. Okay. We've got one that connects here. We have one that connects here. And we've got, I'm going to take the kneecap out for the time being, okay, guys?
Alright.
And we have 2 that come in here. You guys ever, who watches football and basketball? Anybody ever heard of an ACL?
Yeah,
Somebody injures their ACL? That's this one. You can also injure the PCL, which is the posterior version. You have one in the front, one in the back. What we got, Tracy?
You know, since you just said about the basketball and football, you know that what's it called? One of the team's coach is racist. So
Right, we heard it's a big controversy with
Yeah,
that. We'll
so-
talk about that later.
the team,
Yep, they boycotted.
yeah, they changed their
Okay.
jerseys into
Inside out.
Yeah.
Allie, what do we got?
I tore my ACL once and it hurts.
Oh, the ACL does hurt because it makes our luck.
He was,
Obviously, this one didn't work out too well for this guy, did it? All right, so we look over here. We have a ligament that runs here to here, here to here, and then 2 in the back. So when you tear your ACL, your lower leg will kind of scoot forward a little bit. And that's why you can't make that quick cut anymore. That's why they have to do surgery on it. Now, you take a hit. Tim, stand up for a second. So, Tim's a real big guy. So I'm the quarterback. What's your job now? Tackle the quarterback, right? So you come diving in and you hit me over here. All right? So he comes in and wraps up, right? Tackle me. Like, don't knock me over, but how do you? So he hits me and I fall over and I brace myself here and I bend this knee all the way over this way.
Oof.
I can take this one, okay? This one's okay. This one
No.
kind of goes, snaps like a rubber band. And that's why I'm like, laying on the floor and all the coaches and the trainers come out. Because I injured that ligament. Okay? I have to have surgery to repair that one.
Mhm.
Now, let's fix it with the miracles of television. See how good that was? All right? We have all of our ligaments intact. What other injuries do we hear about, Wendy?
Collarbones.
What about them?
Like my brother played football for high school and he broke his collarbone.
Yep. Same thing, you take an injury. Miss Bettina.
I dislocated my knee.
So we're gonna put
That
the
took
Right
years to.
so we're gonna take the kneecap and put it back. Now, the kneecap is wrapped in a tendon, okay, that attaches to the muscles up here, and then it attaches right here to the bone. Well, when this shifts out of the way, it's not in its proper position, is it? If any joint comes out of its proper position, it becomes what we call
Dislocated.
dislocated. Good. If you were dislocated from your house, where are you?
Nowhere.
You're on the streets. Could you be lost?
Yep.
Yeah, you're dislocated. If I move you from this area here in the desk, and I put you out on the ledge, are you supposed to be there?
No.
You were dislocated, okay?
Tell me after class.
And if you fall, is it gonna hurt?
I'm sitting there.
Yeah.
Are dislocations painful sometimes, Miss
Yeah.
Bettina? Whenever the bone is out of its normal position, it hurts because those muscles are trying to pull it back, and unfortunately, it's not given. They say, what we got?
What happened when you like dislocate a shoulder?
Oh, good question, because I did mine so many times. It comes out of joint,
Did you get shot
okay?
in your shoulder?
So it comes out of joint, and now all the muscles around here are trying to pull it in place, but it's not going back in. So it's stuck. So the doctors have to put it in place. All right. So what else do we have? Hold on one second. We're not talking about that anymore. What other tissue is in our knee that we can injure?
Muscle.
We do have muscle.
That like white stuff.
Ah, cartilage. Who said it?
Him.
Good. That cartilage, when we damage it, can it repair on its own?
No,
Why not?
because it's basically broken. Like,
Yep, it's broken.
Like
But if
say-
your bone breaks, can we fix it?
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
fix on its own sometimes?
Yeah.
sometimes
How
yeah.
come?
Because
Hold on, Tiffany, what do we have?
that's
I always do it, I know, I'm sorry.
Call me Tiffany.
Okay, what we got?
Your muscles can't be fixed like by itself because the muscles got torn apart so bad they have to get regain themselves, and it takes
Yep.
from time to time.
So we gotta,
So you have to go through either physical therapy or you have to go through surgery to get them put together.
Yep.
Because how badly they were ripped or how badly they were strained, you can't get them put together because the muscles, they just can't go back to
Yep.
the bone.
I'm gonna put a term up here, and we saw this last week.
Vascular.
What does that mean?
It
If some-
means a bone that has no blood supply.
Oh, look at this. Avascular just means no blood supply. Nice. If it's vascular,
what's wrong.
it has a blood supply. Good. So, if something doesn't have blood supply and it gets injured, is it going to heal?
No.
How come?
Not
There's
because
no
it doesn't
blood
have
there.
blood.
Because we can't bring all the stuff we need to fix it. Okay? So that's why the cartilage never repairs itself. Wendy, what do we have?
So you know how when you break a bone, you go to rehabilitation and stuff. Say I broke my arm and it's in one of those thing.
In a cast?
Yeah, and with the other thing,
In a sling?
yeah, you really can't move it. So if you go to rehabilitation like rehab, they help you move it. Why can't? Does that hurt when they?
Physical therapy initially hurts. Because when you're in a cast and you're in a sling, so it's like this,
Yeah.
are we using these muscles?
No.
Nope. When our body doesn't use muscles for an extended amount of time, those muscles shut off and they stop working. And when they stop working, they shrink. Okay? And we'll talk about that in the muscular system. That term is called atrophy. So when those muscles don't work, And a couple weeks when they take the cast off and they say, Wendy, you have to go to physical therapy now? And they say, lift this. And you're like, I can't. Because there's no more muscle. You have to rebuild that muscle. Miss Bettina?
When I dislocated my knee, I had a full leg cast on. And my dad made me walk to school a mile back and forth.
With a cast.
Yeah, with a cast. One day I fell and I couldn't get up. But, so, in those days it was a plaster, it wasn't fiberglass like now. So I don't know how much a whole leg cast would weigh, but it was pretty heavy. And when they went to take it off, I was sitting on the table and he gets out a saw, and I thought, how is he gonna cut this off? He's gonna cut me. So he cut the cast, and when he opened the cast, my leg raised up. And I fainted. Because I knew I wasn't raising that leg. And
Who's ever played the game where they hold your hands here and you try to pull them this way? And you're like, you're fighting somebody, right? And all of a sudden they let go, what happens?
They raise up.
Your arms kind of do this. Our muscles have like tension, like a rubber band. Even if you're just laying down flat, totally relaxed. Alright, so when you're in the cast, can you move those muscles?
No.
No. Is the cast keeping a particular shape?
Yep.
In the leg?
Mm-hmm.
So when they take it off, if it wants to go, it can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it freaks people out. Anthony, what do you have?
You were shot in a war
Yes, 20-something years ago.
in your shoulder.
In my shoulder.
Now stop asking questions, Anthony.
Teresa, what do you have?
I have two questions.
Okay.
One, how do people with no ankles walk? Because my dad, my real dad, when he was like 7, he cut out his ankles with a chainsaw.
Oh, so he damaged it.
He has no ankle.
Okay, so we're gonna make this, a really basic looking foot. We have our 5 metacarpals, or metatarsals, and then we have, our carpal bones. So this is our foot. This
Nothing like a foot.
Shut.
is our ankle, and then we have
Toes.
Phalanges.
Yeah. Wait, never mind.
Phalanges.
So we have our toes, okay? Well, if you take a really bad
How many toes do
injury,
you have, Mr. Wilson?
I don't know, it depends. Some days they 5, some days they get 6 when I draw them. Okay? So, if we had a chainsaw injury here, and we boogered all these up and destroyed them, what they have to do sometimes is take bone grafts. That means they'll take bone from another part of their body, and they'll try to fit some stuff in here, if it's possible. Sometimes it's not, and what they do is they'll take the bones that are left, and they'll fuse them together. They'll make them all come together, and that's called an ankle fusion. And now, unfortunately, our ankles all move like this, don't they?
Yeah.
All right. That person, let's say, probably walks like this. They probably that foot doesn't move because the ankle has nowhere to go. If we make all of this like one solid piece, it's not going to move a lot, is it?
No.
It's on his both feet.
Both feet, hit both lengths. Wow. JC.
I know this guy's like, if he walks, like, his legs are like this.
He walks like this.
Oh,
No, his legs, like,
You show me. Come on.
his legs,
Oh, he walks on his ankles like this.
yeah.
Okay. That could be a couple things. One, it could be. Remember we talked about the
The
ligaments.
legs not facing front, the toes like that.
So yeah, they're kind of sideways.
Yeah.
That could be as a younger child. How old is this person?
He's like 42.
Okay. When he was younger, he may have been malnourished. Didn't get a lot of the calcium and the phosphorus and the vitamin D. And he could have had a condition called rickets. Hold on your question. And that makes the bones kind of soft. So they get kind of misshapen. And sometimes you'll walk on your ankles. Another thing is, remember these ligaments in the knee? If you damage these in the ankle, and there's a lot of them in here, okay? Then you can kind of do this. Because there's nothing holding them together. Now, imagine that, trying to walk like this all the time. That's got to be pretty what?
Hard.
Hard, painful maybe? All those kind of things that can happen.
He said he's used to it now.
Over time, our body gets used to it. What we got, Chris?
I know this guy that works at Walmart and he walks like that, so he has to have a cane.
Okay, something else to help him move around to give him some stability.
Yeah.
Teresa, what we got?
My dad was being stupid, like a real dad, and he came like to pick me up on a motorcycle, and he was like really like high and everything, and I told him I'm not going home because I know he was high,
Okay.
and so he tried to do a wheelie on a Harley Davidson, and he popped his gas thing, and the whole gas, cause he just got surgery, and he was not even supposed to be on the bike. He was like all drugged up. The gas popped. It went in his leg, like his whole leg was open, cause he cut his leg open, and the gas went into his leg. The motorcycle went against the fence, and like, how do you get gas into your leg?
Well, if gas leaks on it and there's an open cut, you can get gas on it.
And then you
Yeah, burn it.
can
It is my turn to talk. Called on me. Thank you.
Alright, what we got?
Okay, you know how sometimes they give you a
Calm down,
heart
guys.
transplant, like open heart surgery and stuff, and they take a heart from a dead person? How is that possible if your heart stops beating when you're dead?
Because they can restart it. But that's part of the circulatory system. We talked about that.
I didn't remember.
Yeah. But they can
I
transplant
have
and they
a
start up with
question.
electricity.
If you're allergic to anesthesia, and they have to do open heart surgery on you, is that gonna be weird? Because don't they have to like crack your ribs? to be
Yeah,
able to-
they have to do that. But depending on, just because
They
you're
like have-
allergic, guys, tone it down. If you're allergic to one anesthesia, doesn't mean that you're allergic to all anesthesia. So you
How many
knew
different kinds are there?
there's lots of different anesthesia. So say type A anesthesia didn't work, or you had a bad reaction, they will never use type A. They'll go to type B or type C. So we have a whole bunch of other anesthesias for that.
When I had anesthesia for my first surgery, I got like electrocuted, so they said they're never using it again, so I had to get a different anesthesia. And when I was in surgery, like as soon as I got out of surgery,
Okay?
I passed out on a truck stop and a tractor trailer almost ran me over. And like they never understood like how I got electrocuted.
I'm trying to figure that one out. That one doesn't make any sense to me right now. I gotta think about that a little bit more. But, so that's what we covered, okay, right now, overall. With the knees, the joints, talking about the ligaments. Now for you guys, okay, for homework, for you guys, so write this down. And we're not done yet, I just wanna make sure you get it right now.
You already had that in the
This
paper.
is on phone.
There's another entity in that class.
No, that's yours.
Thank you.
No, it's not. I see who's ready.
So, you-
Explain that staple that too.
You guys are going to, guys, eyes up here.
Write down your homework.
Locate the joints of the body. I'm going to give you the ones that I want you to find out. The hip, the knee, this should be an easy one.
No.
Then write down your homework.
I don't know what to do.
I will write it down.
That was disrespectful.
So, what we're going to do in this, those are the ones you're going to write down. You're going to tell me where they're located, okay? Some are pretty self-explanatory. You're going to tell me the type of joint. Do some joints in our body work like hinges on doors?
Kinda.
Do some work like little sockets and they allow us to move in all different directions?
Uh-huh.
Yep. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the type of joint. Similar to the bell ringer, the bones that are involved. And the direction that it moves. So if you say that that joint moves all around,
Write that down?
then you write down it moves all around. If it moves in only one direction, make sure you tell us that. It only moves in one direction.
Do you have an electric sharpener?
No, I don't, but the sharpener on the desk over there works really well. Diana, what we have?
I got a question. Okay. Do we have to look this stuff up on the?
You can use the internet if you want.
Anybody else in picture up Roblox?
Your note packet and the textbook notes that I gave you
Thank you, sir.
will have all that stuff in there. So you have the internet, you have the notes. Alec, can I see your notes? From the skeletal system.
I have mine right here.
Are you talking about
No.
this packet?
So we have, this is one packet,
Hold on.
and then,
The skull system. Right?
Then the other packet.
and then that packet that I gave you.
I have that.
You want this?
Nope, you hold on to that. That's what you're gonna use. That, or this, or the internet. Now, with the internet, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a caution. Depending on what websites that you look at,
Can I use WebMD?
hold on.
Mr. Hallamar, if a parent returning your phone call, Mr.
If you
Hallamar.
use certain websites, you may get answers that have a lot of really big words, or get really, really technical. I just want these 3 parts answered. I want the type of the joint, I want the bones that are involved in that, and I want you to tell me about the direction.
Can I use WebMD?
WebMD probably will help, but it will want to know more about a problem with the joint. So, say you looked up arthritis of the knee,
Okay.
it may talk about the bones that are involved. It'll even show you some pretty nasty pictures.
Cool.
Yes, we get some really gross pictures, okay?
What website is that, Ali?
WebMD.com.
Why they need
Web?
that, huh?
Yep.
Got it.
But sometimes,
We gotta go on there, do our homework.
no, these are just some sources that you can
You're
use,
gonna email to him.
okay? If you want, although I'm not a big advocate for this, Wikipedia, because this is very plain and simple, will work for you guys, because we're not doing heavy research. That's what we'll do, okay? Now, you guys tell me when you get this all finished.
Ready.
I'm not. Done.
And we're going to talk about we'll briefly talk about the spine.
Mister, will you come here?
What we got, Teresa? Let's see. Yes.
Take that home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. The cranium or the skull, we use those terms interchangeably.
Alright, Mr. Wilson, are you
What
the
we
one
got?
explaining about all the bones in the body? Like this morning when I
I don't know
asked you,
these.
can you explain
We talked
all the
about
bones in it?
we talked about part, and that's what we're going to break down. We're going to just start
Yeah.
overall in general today. Everybody, first off, have this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, I have a question.
Hold on. Do we have this written down?
Yes.
Good. So we'll get rid of this. So we have more room.
What?
What does our spine do?
Controls the movement of our back. Like
Keep us
helps us like sit up, but like we can bend over with it and like bend back with it and stuff.
So when we go back, and we talked about the earlier skeletal system,
Control the whole little body.
it does, and we're going to get to that in a second, okay? Actually, that might even come in tomorrow. But what are the 5 functions of the skeletal system? 5 people should give me one answer apiece. Wendy, what do you have? Give me one.
support.
Support.
Protect.
Hold on. Protection. Diana. Movement. Alec.
Minerals.
Wendy.
Mineral storage.
Mineral storage. All right, give me the last one.
Blood cell formation.
Blood cell formation. So, when we're talking about it allows us to sit up straight, or to hunch over, or to move, what is it giving us?
Power.
Which one of those functions?
Movement.
Okay. What else did it give us?
Support.
Support.
Without our spine, we'd be like wow, like
Without our spine, we couldn't do a whole lot of things. Because in between each one of our vertebrae, when we look at this spine, okay, and I wish we had a really big one because the really big ones, the life size, have nerves that come out. Okay? I'm going to try to do, hopefully, if I get a chance, I'm going to use my other classroom that I have at night. And if I can get a picture of that, a close-in picture, we'll put it up on PowerPoint. So you'll see that between each vertebrae, this is my very basic vertebrae. All right, I'm going to draw a disc. And another vertebrae. All right. In between, Anthony, in between we have nerves that come out. Okay? And those nerves work a certain area of our body, whether it's our arms and our legs, in our chest, in our hips, in our legs. It's not dinner time yet. So, that's what happens in our spine. So, when we talked about support and movement, does the discs support us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cushions us, right? Now, the bones here, are they all connected or are they just kind of sitting on top, held together with ligaments and tendons?
Held on top with ligaments and stuff.
Good. They are stacked on top of one another?
I can send you an email.
But are they just held in place or are there ligaments holding them together?
Ligaments holding them together.
Good. Do those ligaments allow us to move?
Yes.
Okay. In a lot of different directions, right?
Yeah.
We can do the hula, we can touch our toes.
I can't.
Okay? So we get some movement. Have a seat. What else does our spine protect? What important structure does our spinal column protect? Yes, ma'am. Could you give me 1 second? If, guys, up here, if you hurt your back really bad and you lose the ability to walk, what happened? What did you damage?
Your spinal cord.
Bingo. So, what important structure is protected? Spinal cord. Good. All right. What we got?
I have a question.
I might as well just get myself one.
Alright.